Hello everyone, this is Tai de Aburto. Right now I'm in La Jolla, California. I am on top of Mount Soledad, as you can see right behind me. This is one of the first places that my wife brought me to because she wanted me to get a better idea of kind of like the layout of San Diego County. So I still remember the first time that we came here. I'll flip around a little and you'll see right behind me, it's a little cloudy today, but right behind me, when it's clear, you can see Tijuana from here. And right now we are in one of the richest zip codes in America. This is a beautiful town. I live here for almost 10 years. And I love it. It was a good time for me and my wife, but unfortunately we have to move out of here because we were ready to buy a house, and the house here in La Jolla are super expensive, and at the time that we were ready to buy a house, we didn't have the money to afford a property here. But you know, at some point I'm planning to come back because I really love this area in San Diego, and makes you feel like you are in America when you're in this beautiful town right here. But I came here because I wanted to show you a little bit of San Diego County from above. And let's see, we're gonna walk towards the memorial. This is a public park, and I'll give you guys a little tour in a minute. So right behind me, it's North County, San Diego, and as part of this video, I'm gonna take you down to the first street where we started passing flyers for the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce in Vista, California, which is like about 25 minutes, 30 minutes from here without traffic. Highway 5 is just getting worse by the day, but hopefully it will take us about 25 minutes, 30 minutes to go to the street where I started promoting the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. Actually, I printed some rack cards, and the first area that I kind of covered with those promotional flyers, it was here in downtown La Jolla. And I remember riding a bike from the condo that we used to live in here in La Jolla Village, and rode my bike to downtown La Jolla, and I started like passing the flyers around, thinking that some of those businesses were going to be receptive to the invitation to join the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce, but of course we didn't have a really good response, because we were new to the market, no one knew anything about us, and it was kind of like something like, what the heck is this, you know what I mean? But it was a great experience, and something that I cherish, or something that I treasure in my heart, and those are like really good memories of some of the adventures that I have gone through here in San Diego, California. But as you can see right behind me, like I said, you can see La Jolla UTC, and North County, San Diego. You have Vista, Oceanside, San Marcos, Carlsbad, and if you look at that area over there, which is like more towards there, is San Diego. You have Santee and La Mesa and all that, and the Southway. You can hardly see downtown San Diego from here, but down there is like National City, Chula Vista, and all that, and then Imperial Beach is over there. Photo bomb.
Video bomb.
Yeah, video bomb. So Imperial Beach is right there at the end, and it's like I said, it's a little cloudy today, but you guys can have an idea of what San Diego County is all about. It's a beautiful area, no questions asked. Probably one of the best cities in America in terms of, you know, the views and the outdoor activities and all that good stuff. But it's definitely very expensive to live here, and we don't have a thriving economy like some other areas in the country have, or like our neighbors in LA have, for example. And that's something that I'm hoping it changes over time. I've been living here for it's gonna be 13 years in February, and I haven't really seen that economic boom in the area, but hopefully, you know, we're gonna have an election next year, and hopefully we will elect into office people that have a better vision for the city of San Diego and San Diego County, and hopefully this area turns into a city with a better economy for all. Because I'm gonna take you from one of the richest zip codes in America, which is 92037, to some of the poorest zip codes in California, I think. But I mean, the difference is huge. It's only a few minutes away. But if you ever come to San Diego, stop by Mount Soledad, beautiful monument to honor all those people that have served our country. That it's a tribute to all the branches of the armed forces of the USA, servicemen and women. So it's a beautiful memorial for all those that have protected and served our country. Respect to all those that are in the military right now. Thank you for your service. Thank you to all of you. I can do what I'm doing right now, and me and my family can have a good time here in San Diego County. So I hope you guys like this view from top of Mount Soledad. And like I said, in a few minutes we'll be down to North County, and I'll show you guys where everything started for the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. All right, let's move to the next one. So La Jolla has about 3 different exits, and one of them goes through UCSD, and right now I'm going to show you guys the campus. UCSD is one of the most prestigious universities here in San Diego County. It has a very strong economic impact in the region, and is definitely a great source of candidates for different positions in the county. So I'll give you guys a quick pick of UCSD campus while we are in our way to Vista, California. Take a look. For the San Marcos Chamber of Commerce. That was a really good experience. Actually, when I decided to start the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce, I had a little conflict in terms of trying to understand how chambers of commerce work in the state, because I had the idea of a chamber of commerce like in Mexico, right? And in Mexico, most business associations are really focused on putting together the resources that are going to help their members to thrive, working on initiatives and programs that are going to help entrepreneurs to have success in the marketplace, and pretty much everything is around the economic empowerment of the members. And when I came here to San Diego, I realized that a lot of the work that the chambers of commerce were doing at that time, it was lobbying, and it was very political. They didn't really care so much about the membership or the business community as a whole. I'm not gonna generalize because I'm an enemy of generalization, but what I did is I conducted a market research study about 160 something chambers of commerce, Hispanic chambers of commerce across the country, and I realized that most of them were in crisis because of the board of directors, or the people that were sitting on the boards, where most of their agendas were just their personal interests and not the interest of the community. So I was trying to figure out how the structure of a chamber of commerce work here. So I started looking for a position in a chamber of commerce in San Diego County, and I was able to become the marketing coordinator for the San Marcos Chamber of Commerce. I learned a lot from that experience. I finally understood the role of the board of directors, and you know, the role of a president and the CEO, and it helped me to understand why so many Hispanic chambers across the country were going through some difficult times, because I kind of like finally had an idea of the politics within chambers of commerce. It's a very strong political environment sometimes in these organizations. Like, again, I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but I would say that the majority have people leading these organizations where their only interest is their interest, and they really don't care about the business community as a whole. And that's something that we've been trying to change with the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. That's why we don't endorse like political candidates or initiatives and stuff. We endorsed one for the first time in the last election, just because we thought that it was a good economic opportunity for the city of San Diego. The voters decided different, and that initiative didn't pass, but at least we feel like we did the right thing, and we're gonna continue to support people and programs and initiatives that focus on the economic empowerment of the business community. And remember what I told you about that Highway 5 is very unpredictable? Check this out. And it wasn't like this a few years ago. I remember when I was working at the San Marcos Chamber, you could be, you know, driving anywhere from like 9 to 4 p.m. and no traffic. Now it can happen at any given time of the day. Right now it's 11 in the afternoon. It's a Friday, but I don't think it has anything to do with the day. And look at that, it's just crazy traffic, and I don't think it's gonna get any better soon. But anyways, I'm glad that it wasn't like this when I had to drive to North County to work at the San Marcos Chamber. But anyway, going back to my story, I learned a lot from the chamber. I actually made a lot of good friends, a lot of good contacts in North County thanks to that position. I'm gonna be forever grateful for the opportunity that I had to work for the San Marcos Chamber. It also helped me to understand how North County works, because it's like a different animal, you know. It's a different area. Despite that it's in San Diego County, South County and North County are completely different in so many different ways, especially when it comes about the Latino community. And when you are in North County, some people are like, oh my god, you were in Chula Vista earlier? Or if you are in Chula Vista, it's like, oh my god, you're not planning to drive all the way to Vista, right? Because they feel like it's a completely different world. And especially, you know, with this traffic, like, you don't want to spend like an hour driving north and an hour driving back just to go for like a 40-minute meeting, right? Unless it's like a very important meeting, you'll do it. Otherwise you just avoid the trouble. But for someone like me, you know, like I drive around all the time, and I'm kind of used to this, and it really doesn't bother me. I usually like listen to audiobooks or some type of positive message, you know, so that way I don't waste my time, or I make calls and stuff. Right now I'm shooting this video, which I think it's gonna come out really good after you guys get to see what I'm gonna show you later. So we're on our way to Vista. We're gonna be there soon, and then I'll give you guys a little tour about the area. Estamos ya en Vista, California. En estos momentos me encuentro en una de las pequeñas plazas que son muy comunes en esta zona, y como pueden ver hay bastantes negocios latinos. Por ahí está una paletería y nevería, la Mixteca, ok, Chicos Panadería, Barbershop, Supermarket, over there, Metro PCS y Doña Elena Pozolería. Doña Elena Pozolería is a member of the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. So since I'm gonna be in North County for a little bit and it's almost 1 p.m., I said I think it's time for me to have a little pozole. So I was telling you earlier that these little shopping centers are very common in North County, and especially in these areas like in Vista and San Marcos, Oceanside. The majority of them are owned by Latinos in many different industries. So I'll show you guys a few more later on this video. Thanks. I'm at inside Pozolería Doña Elena with the one and only, the chef, the master chef right here. And look, I told you guys I was getting hungry, so I'm gonna have a really delicious pozole. Look at it. ¿Qué tal está, Doña Elena? De puerquito. Pozole de puerco.
Tenemos de puerco y de pollo.
Rojo, verde. ¿Cuánto más bueno, Doña Elena?
Pues el rojo.
El rojo y de puerco, ¿ah?
Ajá.
Así que cuando vengan aquí, ya saben, uno rojito con puerco y las salsitas, las cebollitas.
Todo le damos todos los ingredientes.
Aquí está Doña Elena para que la conozcan.
Sí, para
atenderlos. Que se vengan aquí a su negocio. Food is delicious, guys. Let me show you the menu real quick, so you can see that they don't only have pozole, they have a few other things, and all of them are super delicious. Highly recommended. Take a look at it. Carne asada, tacos dorados, tostadas, roll tacos, quesadillas, frijolitos, arroz. ¿Qué les parece? Caldito de res, de pollo, todo delicioso aquí. You have to give it a try, guys. If you excuse me, I'm gonna enjoy my pozole now. Look at that, delicious red pozole with all the greens, onions, and those tostadas are to die for. And it's cheat day, so like a good Mexican, I'm gonna have a Coke. Fun times. So we're done with lunch and we're gonna continue with our Vista tour. Pozole was delicious. Remember, Doña Elena Pozolería in Vista. Come check it out. If you like traditional Mexican food, pozole is one of the most traditional dishes in our culture. So stop by and enjoy one of these delicious pozoles, verde, blanco, rojo. Doña Elena Pozolería. Enjoy, you guys. So I'm gonna show you the exact location where we distributed the first rockers for the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. It was in this little shopping center here in Vista. As you can see right behind me, all those businesses right there, that's where my wife and I throw some rackers for the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. And when I think about it, I mean, it still feels like yesterday. And we also did it in those businesses over there. I think back in 2008, a lot of these businesses were not there. I can see that some of them have changed, unfortunately, but that's part of the market. But this is the first shopping center where we distributed promotional materials about the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce. And if you can see on this avenue, you're gonna see a lot of small businesses on this avenue, all the way there, and on both sides, you know, it's like there are a lot of small businesses, and we are in a very highly concentrated area of Latinos, and that's why my wife brought me here back in 2008, because I asked her, I was like, where can we go and distribute some of these brochures, and she said, well, we have to go to Vista. So we came to Vista, we did it, and this was the first one, the first shopping center where we distributed some promotional materials. And you know, probably wasn't the perfect thing to do, but we did it, and it was a good experience. And I'm probably gonna show you Santa Fe Avenue in a little bit. In Santa Fe Avenue, there are a lot of Hispanic-owned businesses too. And I remember one guy telling me that he didn't need to join any organization or do any marketing online, because most of his clients were like right there, you know, like the cars that drive in front of his business, the people that walk on the sidewalk and stuff. And now the business is closed, unfortunately. So, you know, that has been my point since 2008. I think it's really important, and it's a priority for small businesses to get online and start using all those tools to become more competitive in the marketplace. Hopefully at some point the majority of them will be doing it, and you know, in the meantime, we're just gonna keep promoting that with as many business owners as we can. So as I promised, this is the little shopping center where pretty much everything started. So a visit to Vista or Escondido or Oceanside wouldn't be complete if I don't stop by one of the supermarkets. In this case, I'm gonna do a little shopping at Norgate. Norgate has been a great supporter of ours, and actually one of their executives, Juan Fierro, he sits in our advisory board. He has been a great asset for the organization. The story of the Norgate markets is amazing. We'll get to share it at some point. But for now, I'm just gonna do a little shopping. The quality of the vegetables here is top notch, and you can get it for a better price than other stores in the county. So I'm gonna get some limes, some tomatoes and stuff, and another goodies for the dishes that I like to cook, because as you probably know, I love to cook, and especially Mexican. Check out these avocados. Like in my family, we'll probably eat like 20-30 avocados a week. Actually, in the last 2 days, we just ate like 8 avocados. But take a look at this. Puro avocado de México, papá. Y lo más probable es que vienen de Michoacán. Aquí vamos a comprar un poquito más de verduras, limes, mangoes. Hopefully I'll find some guayabas, because I love that. So we're gonna be cooking something delicious this week. I actually want to make some cochinita pibil. Look at that. You can get different chiles, you know, different spices, piloncillo. I don't eat piloncillo, but some people love that stuff. Dry fruits, nuts. And over here, prunes, cinnamon, chamoy gummies. Oh man, this is fun. This is fun. This is kind of like one of my happy places, you know, when I go to the supermarket and I get the stuff that I like to eat, and I start imagining how I'm gonna cook, and you know, the stuff that I'm gonna be using for my dishes. It's always fun.
It feels spiritual connection with this one.
Damn it.
Limes for 99 cents a pound. You usually get one of these for $1 at Safeway and stuff. So this is what I'm telling you about. There are certain stuff in this store that are cheaper than anywhere else, and the quality is amazing. When I was a kid, I used to love these things. But not anymore. Well, sometimes I like to eat gancitos. And my wife can tell you that this is still a little bit of my weaknesses. Still. But I try to not eat them as much as I used to when I was a kid. This is Norgate. They have pretty much everything that you can get at the Mexican supermarket in Mexico. So they have a really good selection of stuff. And a little more than that. So look what I found. Cabeza de res, chivo partido, cabeza de puerco, cabeza de borrego. I was thinking of getting cabeza de res so I can make it in the oven, but I don't think that's gonna fly with my wife. So as much as I love tacos de cabeza, I'm gonna have to postpone those for a different date. So I told you about my weakness for gancitos, but I didn't tell you about my weakness for bubulubus. So I was walking out of the store. I was at the I was about to pay for the groceries I bought, and I noticed these delicious things in a tiny little fridge next to the cashier. So I'm like, you know what, if I already had pozole for lunch, might as well I had a boogaloo for dessert. Oh man, you gotta love the trips to Vista and Norgate Market Store. So right now I'm in a different shopping center here in Vista, and unfortunately this happens quite often, where there are businesses that don't make it because of the many different situations, you know. This one says out of business sale, and like I said, it's a very unfortunate situation, but it happens a lot, and I just hope that at some point there are gonna be better incentives for small business to thrive in a marketplace like Vista or Escondido or Oceanside or San Marcos. You know, more support from the city, other organizations helping out with resources that can help all these businesses to make it in the marketplace, because whether we like it or not, there are a lot of areas in North County that are with double digits in terms of like poverty, and I think that has to change. That has to change. Like one way to fight poverty, it is with thriving economy, having an economy where we have more people with money. If you are in Vista, California, and I'll double check the stats just so I don't lie on the numbers, but I believe like it's close to 18% or something like that. So that's a big percentage. It's like people that are having to work 2 jobs, maybe 3 jobs, to be able to pay their mortgage or their rent. I believe like most people in Vista have to spend like 30% of their salary to cover their just the lease on a house or mortgage. So that's a lot of money, because if let's say you're making $30,000 a year, which I believe is kind of like the media income, per capita income. I believe like household income, the media household income in Vista is about 57,000 or something. I'll double check those numbers. We'll put the right number on this video once I check it. But when you're making that much money and 30% of that goes towards your home mortgage or your lease, that gives you little money to spend in all these small businesses, restaurants and boutiques, barber shops, etc. So something's wrong in that picture, and I don't think I have the magic answer to that question, but I do believe that we could be doing better here in Southern California, and especially in these cities where there is a high concentration of Latinos. There should be more programs and initiatives that can foster economic growth in this region. So there is a lot of work to do. I'm just showing you, the reality that oftentimes a lot of people don't see, because they don't come to these places at all. If you are in San Diego, in the city of San Diego, very few people come to Vista or Escondido, or San Marcos or Oceanside, and they don't get to see this. But even though, like, I'm gonna go to the city of San Diego, and I'm gonna shoot some videos, and I'm gonna show you how much poverty there is in the city. Actually, just a few blocks from our offices, there is a huge homeless problem that the city has to deal with. So it's not just an isolated situation for North County. Probably Vista is doing a little better than San Diego when it comes about poverty levels. So lots of work to do. As an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I believe that the small business community can become a huge asset to the local economy. We cannot expect the government to do everything for us. We can contribute to the growth and development of the local economy, but we do need the support of the government with certain policies and regulations that can facilitate opening a business in California, opening a restaurant, opening a salon. I have all these stories, over the years of people that takes them forever to open a business because of all the regulations that they. You can go ahead. Yeah, that you can have to go through to open your business. So it's a lot of work to do in that regard. We need to facilitate the process for opening a business. If you are complying with all the requirements, the inspectors have to be consistent when they are reviewing them, because one day you go and X person reviews them and say move this, move that, then a month later you go again, someone else is looking at your construction project, and he has a different opinion of where the stuff needs to be, and that takes time and money. And most of the small business owners, they open their businesses with very little money. So when it takes 6 months or 9 months to open a business instead of 3, if the process will be a little bit more optimized, that's when problems start to happen, because when you lease one of these spaces, they're gonna ask you for probably like a 3-year or 5-year contract, and commercial leases are not that friendly for a small business. So if you start with a bad lease and then you have to deal with all the red tape at the city, it just becomes really hard to open a business. So I'm just highlighting some of this stuff because oftentimes we forget what is really important to address in our economy, and this is one of those things that it has to be addressed at some point. There are many other cities in America where the process for opening a business is crystal clear. It's a streamlined process. If they tell you that it's going to take 45 days, it actually takes 45 days. If someone tells you here in California it's going to take 45 days, most likely it's going to be like 90 or 120 days if you're lucky, depending on what type of business you are in. So something to think about. I give that recommendation to all of our elected officials and to some of my friends that are in government right now, to really take a look at that, because if you come to these areas, you're going to see a lot of empty spaces like this, or you're going to see businesses that are not even going to be able to make it the first year because of all the struggles that they have to go through just to open the door, and then the excessive taxes and stuff. So I'm not saying that I'm not asking not to pay taxes, but if we're paying taxes, we want to make sure that our money is actually contributing to improve how government works for us, every administration, and not go through the same issues. Because I have seen it, some of our members, our newest members that went through some issues with licenses and stuff, where there were the same issues like 10 years ago. So pretty much nothing have changed in that regard, and I think that's something that needs to be addressed at some point. It's sad, but hopefully, through our work and the work that other organizations are doing, we can keep contributing to the growth and development of our economy. I wish I could have the resources to help more small businesses, but we do what we can, with what we have, and we are, happy with what we can do. And sometimes it's frustrating because I know I can do more, but we just have to keep working with what we have. So something to think about, and I hope that you guys enjoy the Vista tour, and I was able to showcase or highlight some stuff that you usually don't think about. If I have some time, I want to show you something else before we finish this video, and if not, thank you very much for watching, and let's keep working for the benefit of all, because the better that we do as a society on the economic standpoint, everyone is going to benefit from it. This is not a Latino issue. This is a small business community issue, and that's why we do what we do. All right, thank you.